Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Windy Meadow, a Roadwarden Tale. It's day 3, we can see here. We're in a little cabin in the woods, and we're thinking about how we're going to deal with the goblin problem. But let's have a quick look at the map just to pinpoint exactly where we are. We're here, over in the west. The cabin is older than me and smells like it. It used to be a shelter for travellers and hunters, but is now used only by the foragers who find themselves caught in a surprise rainfall. All right. Now we're ready. I don't know. It doesn't feel that safe. I didn't see any lights or burned wood at the goblin camp. I'd bet 10 dinners they won't set this cabin on fire. Let's put trust in these walls. All we've got to do is wait for their tribe to get into range of our spears. These gaps and windows are perfect. I'd rather have the guards with us. Our scents could scare them away. It would make mask the bait of the raw meat. I don't have more blood and slices to scatter around the woods. We can't kill all of them on our own. Obviously. Let's just wound some of the smaller ones and throw a few torches at the largest beast. They'll run to the river to put out the fire, and we'll know not to approach the humans around here. Should I light up more torches then? Well, let's avoid the unnecessary smoke and fire. So all we can do is sit still and wait. The joyful life of a hunter. Damn, this straw is soaked. I wonder it smells so bad. Yes, it's more of a dump than a shelter. We should rebuild it next spring. If we can still cut any trees in the forest without angering the herds. The lumberjacks have left quite a clearing. Good point. Couldn't you have skipped sprinkling yourself with the lilac oils today? The trap would work better if we were odorless. You said we might come here. I was ready to spend my time with my friends, just in case. Maybe learn how to drink cider without sniffing each other? Now you've made the goblins' lives easier. Next time, give me specific instructions. You know I use lilac oils all the time, and soap rather than ash. You want me to stay away from them for a few days? Tell me so. I could use help with organizing things around here. Some planning on your side wouldn't hurt. Don't they rely more on their eyes than their noses? Well, let's not follow Nalia's advice so blindly. She's an old drunk. If anything, my perfume hides my scent. Flowers are less human than our dirt. Yeah, right. Be serious now. Is the risk really worth it? I don't know. I didn't pay attention as I was opening the flask. A little typo there. Next time I will. Relax. Of all days, this one requires our attention. Well, whatever. I can't predict every situation. We're taking risks, and I'll make a mistake sooner or later. Deal with it. Yes, I guess. Doesn't mean you have to tempt fate, pup. I can't be perfect at my job. All I can do is promise that I'll try to do better, but show me some patience. Fine. I guess that's all I can ask for. Stench of our bait is strong. It's a safe bet the blood will be shed tonight. Are you afraid? Why? Are you? No doubt. With every passing year I get more scars. My hands grow stiffer, and my back hurts more after a day of work. I guess you are old for a hunter. You're right about that. So how strong can a goblin get? Enough to burst in? About as strong as a human, I reckon. So they could make a hole in the thatch above us. Nah, they're too dumb for that. Are you sure? Sure enough to risk it. Did Lita pack us anything? I can spread a bit of honey on some slices of bread, if you've got the stomach to eat right next to a rotting pile of meat. Ah, I've eaten raw snakes and ravens. I'll manage. Come. Dad? Right. Ready. May the right's breath be with us. Did we win? Why aren't they running to the river? Wait. Oh, sorry, I missed that. They're basically running into the forest, I think. Oh, what have I done? It's spreading everywhere. Run to the village. Wake up everyone you can. I need to rescue Salvia. Salvia is the old herbalist. I'll go with you. It's too dangerous. Let's stay together. Listen to me for once. Run. Day 4. Okay. I was thinking of looking at the map, but we know we're in the... Oh, in times of crisis like now, our inn serves as a house of gathering, so the descriptions change depending on, story events. And we can't forage no more, and there are no mages to protect us. Half of the folks who could fight the monsters have fled to the city. Lacerta, so we've had her before. I think she was just posh. No one fled anywhere. They had to leave, that's all. This is your last warning, Calor. You won't interrupt me another time. This is the old Roadwarden priest, isn't it?
Friends, we're all tired and angry, but don't let your emotions take over. Be the sunbeam among the foliage. Remember?
None of you is held in Windy Meadows against your will. At the same time, I won't order an evacuation without good reason. We have the sick and the elders to look after. I can't force them all to seek refuge in the name of our fear.
Indeed, a rash choice would turn us into beggars and vagabonds.
Let's discuss the threat at hand. Step forward, Latro.
Will you ask him of all? Forget it.
You and Vina have killed a bunch of the goblins already. Are they even a threat?
I can't say how many of them were taken by the fire, but judging by the number I've seen roaming around the woods in the last few hours, I reckon the remaining ones will seek revenge.
Can we stop them?
If they're dumb enough to storm our walls.
And what if the wrath of the herds follows suit?
Then, no. That's a blessing in disguise, though. The trolls had already devoured dozens of local predators, to the point that we need to cease all hunting for a year or so.
That's a risky gamble to take.
We could set up more traps. This is our land, so we could stop the onslaught before it reaches our walls.
Even if it were a sound plan, surrounding the entirety of our territory with moats and spikes would take years, and we have only a few days to act at best. My question is, what went wrong? How did the fire get out of control?
Arata. We haven't spoken to Arata. Okay, she's the one who owns the noble griffins. I remember that.
I think Arata has something to say.
It's Latro's fault. That's what Nalia said. To be specific, I simply stated that Latro made a mistake.
Care to elaborate?
Well, he had no good reason to assume that these specific goblins were familiar with rivers or ponds. I guess nowadays the goblin packs are smaller than they used to be before the southern invasion. Back in the day, learning how to confront 100 of them was crucial for any fighter. Each goblin pack, or tribe if you insist, is different. They ought to be observed, studied, outsmarted. Before combat, we used to plan our steps for days.
A bit late to spread the seeds of knowledge, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'm just an old drunk, am I not? Latro told me everything was under control. That's why I sold my sword in the first place.
This isn't the time to dig out old grudges. Nalia, once the meeting is over, could you spend some time sharing your insight with us?
Better prepare some decent snacks.
Meanwhile, the rest of us should gather anything of value we have left and secure it in the warehouse. Whoever lives outside of the palisade needs to be moved to the stronghold. The guards will help you.
I can't remember Periga's voice. I think she was just stern.
We'll do our best right after the meeting.
I'm afraid there's one more thing we need to discuss. Please join us, Arata. Latro, Arata has decided not to seek retribution against you. We all know that Lana had little time left.
Lana, she used to babysit Lita, Victus and me whenever our parents left for a hunt. The warmest and most cheerful soul I've ever met. But it didn't help her overcome her illness, so I guess this is probably Arata's mother, maybe? And did she burn in the fire?
However, the wounds you carved in our tribe can't be forgiven. Are you ready to hear the council's judgment?
I am.
Mayor?
We're going to trade your trophies for seeds and saplings from the neighbouring villages. If not for our own sake, then for the generation that is to come after us. As Lacerta describes the burden of Latro's mistake, from Salvia's burnt hut to the threat of starvation sneaking up on your tribe like a fog, your father becomes smaller with every word. You try to pay attention, but each moment lasts for an eternity. You think of your mother, resting through her darkest days in the scarce luxury she's earned, and which she's now going to lose. You think of the chaos that's going to once again push Hostia into distress. Who knows if she's going to recover from it this time around. Of Lita's angry glances and the wall that grows between you. Of little Inmara and the desolations she's going to find when she wakes up. Of Latro's legacy, now shattered. Anger makes your breath warmer and louder. If you refuse to pay, you are to be branded as an outlaw. All tribes we can reach would hear of your banishment. Do you accept your fate, or would you rather take it to the judges in Berytus? How dare you! We put our lives in danger to protect you all!
Bina.
Can you be so cruel? Can't you see what you're doing to us?
Bina! Outside.
So quiet here. Everyone's either at work or at the inn. I had a moment alone these last few days. I'm exhausted. You look toward the main gate. The glances you get from Bracchus are hard to read. How could we bring back the forest? It's gone for good. I've got this weight in my stomach, I don't know. Kind of like...
How are you, Vina?
Life got very shitty very quickly.
And in quite a few ways. I feel angry and lost too, but let's not despair. Together as a tribe, we can hold on to hope.
Maybe.
Since you left a bit early, I wanted to make it clear that the tribe's judgment isn't aimed at you or Preddy, or your siblings. You aren't responsible for Latro's mistake, and he's still one of us. We'll look after all of you.
That's cold comfort. I know our customs, but the next few years are going to be rough. Let's not pretend otherwise.
Of course, I won't act as if I can soften the blow. The tablets say our souls are not that of a tiger or a dragon or a troll. We endure together and die as one. Anyone in your place would feel lost if you need someone to listen to you without judgment.
Thanks. I'll know where to find you.
This village is so small you can just shout out my name. See you in the evening. We'll fight shoulder to shoulder, your spear, my sickle sword.
Having the right simply tell me what to do. Life would be so much easier. I could shrug off all of my responsibilities. Though I guess my dad still accepts his role in what's happened. That takes strength.
You know what? This ain't the same sheep. It has brown dots on its back, not black ones, and a white tail.
So its sister has lured us toward her, as if to distract us? What a cunning,
fluffy beast.
Great, now I'm getting outwitted by sheep. At this pace, we should be done with gathering this herd in 10 years or so.
Are there no magical plants that could lure them to us? A sheep nip? Let's ask old Salvia. If she ever had such a thing, it's now lost to the fire.
I'd rather not bother her.
So how can we find the others?
I'm not sure, pup. Let's just do our best before sunset.
I bet most of them died in the fire.
Well, yes, but the hills kept the flames from spreading west, and the sheep know how to swim, though they can't outrun the cats and dragonlings that roam our woods.
And are we going to outrun them? The beast is still in shock, so right now the woods are safer than ever. Just focus on the sheep.
Don't worry, she won't go anywhere. Ain't that right, my pillow?
I hate to admit it, but Vina sounds wiser with every day she spends away from a bottle. What's your problem this time? Just saying.
Please, wolves. This herd is worth 300 dragons, if not more. The more of them we find, the closer I'll be to paying off my debts.
Flock, not a herd. Sheep gather in flocks. It doesn't really matter. I'm Vina. I'm a dumb brute and I couldn't possibly memorize another word.
Ignore her. Lita, I swear, is it too much to ask for a moment of silence?
Sorry, Father. See, I'm helping. The beast is under my charm, as tame as a lamb.
It's saving strength for later. Avoid its bite.
Dad, I see a Rata's griffin.
Oh, let it go. It doesn't need our protection. It may be afraid and turn hostile if we were to approach it.
Oh, it ran away. Father? I'm going to marry Stabulus. He'll support me throughout my carpenter training. Once I start earning dragon bones, I'm going to help you. I won't let you struggle by yourself.
And I guess I don't have any say in this matter?
Sorry, this time I don't need your guidance.
Then let me be the first one to congratulate you. I won't doubt your judgment.
You and Stabulus are so cute together. I knew you were scheming something.
Stay quiet.
Thanks, we're planning great things. Who knows, maybe Vina could chip in as well if she decides to work for the merchants. But for now, I'm sure I'll be fine, even on my own.
I'll try, but sending money through beasts and robbers is tricky. Better to treat my share as a bonus. Wise words, pup. What matters most is that we'll face our obstacles as a family. Thank you both. Your mother keeps saying that all of our daughters are the right's blessing, and I couldn't agree with her more. Time to move. Let's prepare to take this sheep away from here.
What's she crying about?
Vina and her father have stuck together. Okay, so that was Vina's chapter. I'm going to guess that these three are going to set up something, and then maybe we'll have a conclusion that ties everything together. Obviously, we're only a short way into this video, so we'll start the next one. We're going to start with Fable, the storyteller. He's not spoken yet. 10 years ago. Focus on my voice. Once I set you free, we've got to run. Run! Is that clear? Don't take anything with you.
And Nanny?
She'll be fine, sweetie. Think about the jar of honey that's... Oh, this is the mother.
She'll be fine, sweetie. Think about the jar of honey that's waiting for us. What can I do?
Keep watching. Shout if you see anyone. Fable, is the fire close? Can you breathe?
I don't know. I guess.
Stay calm.
That priest is fighting them off.
Almost done. Yes. Let's get out of... Oh. Yikes.
Now, what have we got here? Going somewhere?
No, I'm not afraid. I can fight.
Sure, pal. Want to stay here? You don't even need these legs. Should have run when you had the chance.
Oh, that's Vates.
Kid's still with us. I could use a guide. least you're breathing. I can't carry you around or the raiders will kill us both, and you won't make it through the woods anyway. A wingless crow can't defend its eggs, say the tablets. Though, how does it end? It would still try to do so? Fine. Once we get jumped by beasts, you're on your own.
Voicing him a bit younger, obviously. It's 10. I guess his voice has aged quite a lot in 10 years. Day 1.
Is this really the best time for daydreaming?
Where's Nalia's hut? Oh, it's here, outside. The aunt of House Nalia. So we're Fable now, so Nalia's his aunt, I guess, or... I don't know if that's by blood or sort of an unofficial uncle-aunt sort of thing. Newest building in the village. When asked why she would insist on placing it outside the village walls, she said she'd rather deal with the monsters than listen to all the squabbling.
I was thinking about my parents. I was thinking about Little Oak. I wish my parents could see me now, next to an old manuscript and wax tablet.
Little Oak, the village of my tribe, destroyed 10 years ago by a band of robbers and slave hunters. I carry memories of my parents' home, and a few alleys, but without Vati's stories, I wouldn't know much about the place. From what I've learned, it used to sell eggs, feathers, and things made of wicker.
Your uncle says that you've always been a smart kid.
So was Uncle Vati's foster father. There we go. So a bit more about him, because obviously this is from a different perspective. When I was 6, he carried me to safety from my burning home and brought me to his house miles away. It was the right thing to do, he says. He doesn't talk about himself, but since he used to be a Roadwarden, I've no doubt his hands are stained with blood. I don't care. He's wise and humble. I wish I could be less of a burden to him.
I'm sure your kin had high hopes for you.
If so, why is it taking me so long to learn how to read and write?
Is it? Well, it was even more difficult for me.
Go on.
It took me more than a year to learn the basics. I used to travel with this scholar, never mind his name. He would show me this and that whenever we shared a table at an inn.
Sounds like a story. I want to hear it.
Sure, as long as you won't ask me to go into detail about the days I wasted waiting for herbalists I was protecting. They just had to pick the plants at just the right time.
I'm sorry. I'm getting tired, but I'll pay attention.
Oh, it's getting late. But be proud of yourself. We're making progress. Were you able to keep up with my dictation?
I'm trying to make the letters smaller, but can't find enough space to fit them in a row.
Oh, that's completely normal. You'll figure out the proper shapes and sizes with practice. Time's on your side.
Can't I use a bigger tablet? We've got plenty of wax in the village.
It'd slow down your progress. You'd get used to shabby letters.
Also, clearing the old letters is a pain. It takes me almost as much time as writing does.
And it'd only take you more time with a larger tablet. It's all right, Fable. No need to rush yourself. You're doing fine.
Nothing about this is fine. Could someone care about my time? Why can't Vartis practice with me instead of sending me to someone who knows as much about teaching as I know about swimming?
Anything else? You may be young, but I'd advise you to temper your tongue. Don't force others to deal with your shit.
I don't want to lie to other people.
You expect everyone to be constantly curious about your feelings?
I just want to have an option to take off my mask from time to time. I'm exhausted by this forced kindness.
Kindness doesn't have to be a lie if you truly respect the other side.
I want to apologize. I didn't want to.
I know. It's fine.
But
And I think we're done for today. You could use some fresh air. I should filter out the sediment from my grain beer. Say hello to Vartis for me.
Your aunt says your name quietly. Her voice is clouded with doubt.
You called me, Auntie?
We all have our limitations, but feeling guilty about it won't help you. You're trying your best. You'll figure out how to read and write in no time.
Right there, enough studying for today?
Yeah, another lesson, another headache.
I warned you. Even in Beardus, almost no one reads.
Reading manuscripts will help me learn more stories and about taking notes.
Yet even for a bard, it's quite a rare skill. Most storytellers repeat what they've heard from one another, only pretending they know what they're talking about. Trust me, I would know.
What does he say about the tasty chlorine? Stabby may be my friend, but he rewards me for my work fairly. I'm too young to taste harder drinks, but the drunken patrons are the best audience for my stories. Having no legs, I'll see fewer things, face fewer adventures. I need to rely on knowledge to even the odds.
Only if you're determined to stay on this path.
I am for now. But since you mentioned it, have you spoken with Lita?
I sure did. She's not going to work at the inn for much longer. She's planning to spend some time learning from the carpenters.
What carpenters?
Well, there may be no masters in the village, but Castus, Calor, and Sulcus all know this and that. It's enough for her to get started. But she'll have to travel to another tribe in a year or two. Maybe even to the city.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but she's got talent in her hands and will return here after apprenticeship. And now I need to find another kind soul for hire.
You still think it should be me?
Indeed. I'll teach you everything I know about running an inn. Want to start coming in the evenings?
Oh, that's nice and all, but don't be silly. I can't bring folks mugs of ale or stand up to the drunks. I thought you just wanted me to help you clean up the rooms every now and then.
Oh, have some mercy. You want to be a bard with an imagination this small? If you were to run your own inn one day, you'd hire someone to move the tables for you. In the meantime, you'd keep the place spinning. Take care of the planning, counting letters, and busy work. Talk to the guests, tell them stories. You'd save quite a few coins.
Keep the place spinning? You get that from the city?
Oh, don't judge me. I had to learn a whole bunch of old sayings from your tribe, too.
Nevertheless, I can't spend my days studying, reading and writing, playing the flute and doing chores, and then end up here each evening. Oh, I've got my limits and I need to get ahead of all the other travelling talkers.
Working at an inn, you'd hear more stories than you could store in your skull, both from distant lands and from the people struggling with day-to-day problems. You'd gather news, jokes and rumours from the entire province. For a storyteller, there's no better place to be than an inn.
Okay, that sounds kind of good actually. Give me a few days to think about it.
I knew you'd spot the opportunity. Don't take too long. You need to hire someone right away before Evolo's wedding. The sooner you decide, the better.
Are you going somewhere?
Soon. I need to wipe the tables and sweep the floor. So, Nalia's sword.
I'm not going to ask her to let me hold it. It's her favourite toy.
What do you mean?
You know, she waggles it around or polishes it. She doesn't even seem to notice it. Why do you keep nagging me about it?
Got a sword made of cold steel. I want to hold it, of course. I want you to break the ice for me.
What is this cold steel exactly? Some sort of magic that darkened the blade?
I'm not sure. A rare alloy from the growing mountains, I think. You will say it stays sharp for generations and is lighter than a stick. I bet those are all lies. It used to be the most famous blade in Berytus. Nalia lent it to officials for parades and such. Well, for dragon bones, of course. One of the paintings I have was meant to portray a similar weapon, but I don't think it's very accurate.
Why does my aunt even have it? Did she find it in an old treasury?
You want to read ancient scrolls when you have legends within reach of your fingertips.
So share a legend with me then, Stabby.
Oh, I don't know all the details. Now I have to visit Arata before the evening. Buy a sheet from her. Can't you make up a fine story on your own?
I need my stories to carry some truth in them. Others would mock me if they were to catch me mumbling nonsense on the stuff I know nothing about.
Who cares? Just say you made it all up. Give people a bit of fun.
I don't think it would work in the long run.
Well, you'd be surprised. Well, see you soon, Runt.
Enjoy dusting the shelves, big guy. I'm back.
Ah, and I was just leaving. Would you like a sandwich?
Thanks, I hate cooking when I'm hungry.
Oh, we're out of fish. I'll bring another one in the evening.
Well, that's fine.
Let's see where their hut is. So they are...
Oh, they're over here.
In the east. The House of Vati is my guardian and the place where our tribe gathers to pray and listen to the teachings of the rites tablets.
We live inside every spring and summer, but we move back to the village in autumn and close the doors entirely during the winter season. Despite the spells and traps, there's too many beasts around.
How was your day?
Slow as always. I helped with flour grinding, went for my lessons, and had a chat with Stabby.
Mm-hmm. Could you organise our clothes, check them for bugs? They're getting all rumpled in the closet.
Sure. Are you heading for the cemetery?
No, I've got a few tough conversations ahead of me. Victor says he's trapped. Arata feels hopeless. Evelo needs some advice tied to his savings. I don't know what that's all about. Oh well, I'll be back in a couple of hours.
Good luck.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Castus, we haven't seen Castus yet, a local farmer and beekeeper married to Mita. Judged by the tales he shares, he has siblings and cousins in every village in the province. I help him with various tasks, but not in the fields.
Castus could use some help with candles the day after tomorrow.
Great. Aunt Nali will be busy that day. I can take some extra work.
Such a simple job won't earn you a dragon, but you'd get some apples and honey.
Oh, that's fine with me.
Can't fill up a stomach with bones. Am I right? I'll let them know. Have fun cooking. Still awake? Good. We need to have a talk.
Huh? I ain't done with my chores yet.
I'll help you finish them. For now, let's go to the backyard. I want you to pay attention.
Okay. Did something happen?
I went to see Nalia. She told me about your doubts.
And?
Apparently you're mad at me. You mentioned that I should be your teacher.
I'm not mad at you. At least not at you. I'm sick of wasting time in a small, dark room. I want to create stories, start my adult life.
Sometimes composing a story takes sitting down in a small, dark room and a lot of work.
Nalia told me the same thing.
She used to be quite an adventurer and face more nightmares and wonders than you can think of. She's not a scholar, but she has her own unique tale to share.
She doesn't really tell me much about storytelling. She's all about writing in the language of the tablets.
I talked with her about it. I think you're going to enjoy your next lesson. Be open to what she tries to show you. Don't grow too attached to my thoughts on things. The world is much larger than what I can tell you about it.
I don't think she's all that interested in the right and their teachings.
While it crushes my heart, it's even better for you. You're ready to listen to different perspectives, figure out your own truths. All eyes are blind, but a fresh pair reveals new truths, say the tablets. I'm worried about her. Soul her age shouldn't spend their days shut in a house. She lives so close, but is still a trained stranger in our tribe. Can you blame me for using the opportunity to have her spend more time with one of our brightest?
I guess it's good that she talks to someone, though she thinks she's paying off her debt to you.
Good. There ain't many stories about helping out lonely elders, but in the eyes of the right, it's no less important than facing the largest trolls. Let's keep this conversation between us. Nalia is cranky enough as it is.
Right. I'll sit here for a few more moments. The sky looks lovely tonight. Day 2.
Feeling any better today?
I'm not feeling worse.
Truly you're indistinguishable from the rest of our family. I'd offer you a juniper drink to lighten up the mood, but we should keep our eyes clear for the lesson.
Stabulus says that the real scribes drink mead and ale daily, and even wine, especially the monks from the Orders of Truth.
Manuscripts are too valuable to allow such negligence. Not the ones I have, of course, but most codices reach prices comparable to those of weapons enhanced with magic, or to chitin armor. No monk would be allowed to bring a chalice of wine into the scriptorium. I've guarded 2 or 3 monasteries, I'd know. Don't listen to any piece of gossip thrown at you by an innkeep. Even one as trustworthy as stabs. Now, let's get to work.
Oh, this time I've cleared all the tablets.
Well, that's great, but today we're going to do something special.
Quill sharpening?
Better. I've prepared a few interesting stories for you, ones much more complex than our regular reads. I'd like you to read one out loud, and then we'll have a bit of a discussion.
Where did you get them?
I brought a few tales I enjoy as well as my own notes. I've gathered some of them from bards and travellers, and others from various manuscripts. Your dad wants me to share them with you.
My uncle. You mean Vartis, I assume?
Forgive me, just a slip of the tongue.
So, what are my choices?
Let's have a look. The first one is a legend about a king from a distant realm of sand dunes far away from here, and about his treacherous architects. People call it the Ever-Waiting City. I brought these parchments from a retired adventurer. Back then, I was but a young mercenary. I marked the second story with a bookmark. It's from a journal written by a travelling monk who used to study the southern tribes. He describes a tribe that believes all beasts and humans are reborn at every sunrise. And since he was infamous for his lies, what we have here may be the only remaining copy of his work. Pages are much older than the cover. My daughter had rebound them some years back to protect them from further degradation. The last tale is... I'm not sure what to call it. I don't want to spoil the surprise. It's about a rich man who lived alone in the woods until he met a rather mysterious spirit. I heard this tale in a roadside inn during a freezing winter. I was supposed to copy it to parchment, but I've never found the right moment. Go ahead, pick one.
Let's do the last one. Now I'm intrigued. I want to know what happened to this lonely man.
Okay, here we go.
This happened before the woods gave way to the 10 cities, before the fire overran the growing mountains, and before humans learned how to write it on sheepskin.
I was quite interested to hear that for myself. I think we're skipping past it, though.
Okay, here we go. Try to summarize the tale. The most important bits will do.
It may be difficult without quoting it. It's a fairy tale, but not like those people say to their children. It was written with great care.
Try your best. Focus on the events, not the style.
It takes place in ancient times, somewhere in the deep woods. There was this brave young prince, a warrior, who grew disgusted with the wars and greed of the tribes. He left them to themselves and decided to live as a hermit.
Something important happened before that.
Right. Before he left, his father, the chief, insisted that he should take precious gems and rings with him. At first he made a tent out of a spruce tree, then a cabin, and then a stone watchtower. He turned his lands into fields and pastures and hunted for many fish. He had many visitors eager to learn from him, but the stories they shared with him were filled with cruelty. The prince was convinced that he made the right choice. He was also warned about the strange dwarf, a man more cunning and treacherous than any human, who robbed many local villages. Time went by, and the short, sturdy man indeed approached the watchtower. While he looked like the dwarf, he was kind and witty, and seemed to be interested only in having a friendly chat. He claimed to be a travelling sage who had made a camp in a nearby cave. He wanted to exchange tales, memories, and rumours. The hermit kept his distance, talking with the traveller only from the top of his tower. They had discussions about farming, about the songs of birds, about virtue, and about the nature of the spirits. One day the prince heard a pained scream. He went downstairs and opened the tower, only to find that the man was fighting a large bearfolk, bleeding and without a chance. The hermit rescued his friend and took him home. That's when the dwarf drew his dagger and cut the prince's throat. The fable even mentions that he bled out like a boar, even though the previous parts are much more whimsical.
And from that point on, the tone changes completely.
Indeed, it stops being a fairy tale and it gets oddly specific and direct. The last tablet describes how the dwarf claimed the prince's possessions. His tower became a bandit's hideout. The tribes had the option to either join them, aiding them with supplies, or to get pillaged and lose everything they had. The dwarf became a powerful king, and his dynasty rules to this day, waiting for the day of judgment.
Why did you quote that part?
It concludes the entire story. It seems important.
And what do you think this tale is about?
It's similar to those Be Nice No Matter What stories, but this ending is completely twisted. It feels as if the ending was written by a different scribe.
I know for a fact that there was only one author. Spend some time thinking about the shift in his style. Maybe he had a purpose you can't see yet. Think about the Wright's tablets and the amount of death and sacrifice in them. Think about pagan fairy tales and how dark they can get, or about the songs of the final days. Great stories are often filled with violence and despair, yet many heroes find no reward while evildoers avoid any responsibility.
You're right. I can think of a whole bunch of examples.
Though I'll admit that the ending feels a bit jarring, clumsy even. I've actually hidden a very important part of this tale from you, its title. The bard who shared this story with me was its author. It's a tale about the first invasion that the 10 cities and their emperor waged on the southern tribes, including the bard's own people.
Oh, I've heard about it from Vartis. But it happened centuries ago, correct?
If not 1,000 years ago. Maybe there's a manuscript that recorded the time of the first strike. The dwarf represents the 10 cities, both us and our rulers. The prince stands for the tribes, who joined us against our common enemies, the bear. With our combined strength, we crushed our enemies. And then we betrayed our allies, stealing their lands and treasures. That is how we cleared our path to the south.
I've heard people saying that the southern invasion was the Wright's punishment for the sins of our ancestors.
I won't pretend I know if that's true. Still, other tribes don't see us as we see ourselves. Their children grow up afraid of the sea, knowing our soldiers may once again land on their coasts, seeking loot and slaves. Try to remember it. So, what do you think about this tale? Did you like it? The real title is The Rise of the 10 Cities.
Okay, it was good. Very much so. I'll think about it some more, but it was a great read.
I'm glad. It's not for everyone, that's for sure. We'll see each other the day after tomorrow, correct?
I'm looking forward to it.
Ask Vartis to give you some time to practice on your own.
Oh, I won't have much time to spare. I'm going to help Castus and Mita with candles.
How convenient. For our lessons, we'll need a few tallow candles. Just tell them I don't need any of those, fancy wax ones.
I will. See ya.
Right.
Here we've got Vina and people in there. That's interesting.
Spend the whole day either locked in a stronghold or warning folks about the goblins. I'm still not done.
Oh, how bad's the situation?
Where is...
Oh, he's there. He's got his back to us, so I couldn't see him. How bad's the situation? Fairly bad. We just discussed it at dinner with my father. There's a few dozen of them, so this is kind of... Fable's tale is sort of concurrent with Vina's tale. So no more gatherings at the Big Rock, huh?
Aye, we may want to stick to the walls for the next few days. At least you won't have to wash mud off your cart.
Since all I do is help others with tiny tasks, I don't mind a few annoyances.
Gets rough when it rains though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it ain't so easy to ride uphill even on dry ground. But better that than sticking to the cobblestone. Kind of weird the elders don't try to pave the paths. It'd make your life easier. I don't mind. Can't expect the whole tribe to bend over backwards for my sake. And the stone's pricey.
At least the mare makes us spread rocks on the mud. The paths stay in shape no matter the weather.
Some of those rocks cut my hands. One of the reasons why I wear my gloves all the time.
Fable, that's...
Oh, Fable, that's awful. Oh well, things will change, one way or another. If everything goes right, I'll take on much riskier tasks in the future as a bard. Travels, crossbows, beast sightings.
You may be the bravest of us all, despite your small shell.
I've still got a few years to grow. Most bards stay as far away from combat as they can anyway, as long as they can see what's going on. Wouldn't it be easier for you if you stuck to Beritus and learned the stories there? You could pay the adventurers for their tales. As if they know what's interesting about them. All they talk about are beasts, bandits, coins, treasures. Nothing about how they feel, who they met, the harshness of their journey, how they changed over the seasons.
So you mean they talk about the good stuff?
I mean, always the same stuff. At least we aren't locked in the village yet. Other tribes won't do as much as leave the main gate without a blade. But you did get chased by a werefolk that one time. It's been 2 times, actually.
Yep, same one. Got caught on the left shoulder the first time. Came back still wounded.
I never heard about it. What can I say? I'm getting used to the risk.
Got some news for you.
I'm hearing some promising glee in your voice.
Guards told me they'd help me get a job in the city.
No way, with Vina?
Nah, nothing like that. Or maybe a bit like that. They want me to join the army.
Oh, that's a pretty big deal.
Would be. Not that I'm gonna take the job, though.
Oh, phew, you scared me for a moment. But still, why not?
Liking it here. Simple as that.
Don't you want something, I don't know, more?
Like what?
You'd finally get out of here, see the world, experience an adventure or two.
When was the last time you saw me bored? Got stuff to do and always will. Won't matter if I'm here or elsewhere.
Well, money. You'd get good pay. Could enjoy some nice food and drinks for once.
I won't say no to a cup of mead, but I don't care about that as much. As long as I ain't hungry, I'm fine.
Coin will give you more than comfort. It protects you too.
But for a price. I talked with a few folks about it. Cities ain't free. Army ain't free. Soldiers beg to be sent to places like Windy Meadow. Ain't kidding.
Seriously, nothing? Really? You can't think of anything?
If I have to come up with something, I'd like to get more spices from overseas.
I'll second that. In winter, all we've got are dried herbs. I've known for so long that I want to be a bard, and even more so, I want the life that goes with it. I'm young now, but after another few years, I don't want this place to choke me.
Meh. Most days are the same, but I've got my food. Warm in, friends. Life's good. Well, what did I scare you with later?
Oh, you're one of the last few souls around here that don't annoy me. Good to know you're staying.
Aren't you a flatterer? I like our neighbours. They're friendly and don't hold grudges for long.
They make stupid mistakes. Just saying.
And learn from them. Won't get much more from the other tribes.
It's intense moments at home again. They hardly never end nowadays. Innie can't wake up, mother needs washing and feeding, father is either in the woods at the inn or talking to the priest parties, Hostia still gets into her sad days. And Vina is, let's just say she doesn't help. And how are you holding up? I'm good. Hopeful. And like our dear Firma here, I ain't gonna take things as they are. I'll either fix them or make them change. Kinda why I hope you're gonna work with Stabby after all. It's good having you around, Fable. No, I don't think it would make me happy. I get it. I want to make chairs, cut wood and all. I don't just want to be here. Oh, I don't just want to be.
Still, an opportunity.
It is. But it ain't the same as storytelling. Is that really the only path for you? Either you get to be a bard or live unhappily?
Quite the weight on your shoulders.
You see, it's because it's hard to explain it.
I bet. Don't worry though, you're not on your own.
They're back again. But you know the relief won't last. What a great night to run, to jump, to fall, to rise. But after all this, you wait, for the next part always comes. You can't escape it. They want you to do something, but offer no explanations. Is that the raider that cut our legs off? I need to make them accept the true me. Each word brings pain, but also comfort. You're getting closer to the shapes, and yet can't help but fear rejection. You're alone even before the crowd leaves you. I shouldn't be here. Then again, I am. Day 3. And I think that's probably a good place to leave it for now. So I'm just going to say thanks very much for watching this second episode of Windy Meadow, a Roadwarden Tale. I hope you've enjoyed it. You know, it's an interesting story. As I said, I'm interested to see kind of how they all interconnect and maybe build to a conclusion. It felt like Venus cut off on a bit of a climax, so it'd be good to, you know, kind of see what happens next in terms of the goblin attack and the fire and everything. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this, as I said, and if you did, if you could hit the thumbs up button, that'd be fantastic. Leave me a comment as well. Let me know how you're enjoying it. You know, is it a story that's holding your attention? Are you just along for the ride, or do you have any thoughts on where it might go? You know, always happy to read your comments. So do leave one. And if you're watching this and haven't already subscribed to the channel, it'd be great if you could do so. So thanks very much once again, and I hope to see you next time for more Windy Meadow. Bye for now.